Welcome to this Blender tutorial. This is part 2 of the tutorial to create this soft body animation. In this animation, the music is used to animate the objects. In part 1 we created the objects and the animation. A link to part 1 is in the description below. In this tutorial we will create the materials and render the animation. We will start where we left off, with a rigid body plane, a soft body sphere, and a hidden cube which is a collision object. A HDRI will be used to light the scene. The default light is not needed and is deleted. As the light or any object may not always be in view, an alternative way to delete it is to right mouse click on the object in the outliner and select delete. Click on the Look Dev Mode button. This view uses an HDRI image to assist with setting up the materials. Before creating materials, we need to select a render engine. Click on the render properties icon. I will use the EV render engine. Enable ambient occlusion and subsurface scattering. Within the subsurface scattering menu, make sure refraction is not enabled. We will now align the camera ready for the render. Click on the View menu. Align View. Align active camera to view. Press the N key to open the side panel. Within the View tab, enable Lock Camera to View. Then press the N key to close the side panel. We can now navigate with the mouse to align the camera. After the camera view has been aligned, press the N key to open the side panel and disable Lock Camera to View. Press the N key to close the panel. We will extrude the back edge of the plane to make a backdrop. Click on the ground plane to select it. Then push the Tab key to enter edit mode. Click on the Edge Select button if it's not active. Click on the back edge of the plane. Press the E key to extrude. Z to lock to the Z axis, and drag the edge up with the mouse. The top needs to be high enough to be out of camera view. Click on the back corner. Add a bevel by holding the Control key and press the B key. Drag with the mouse to angle the back edge. Use the mouse wheel to add more edges and round out the corner. Left mouse click to complete the bevel. Press the Tab key to enter object mode. Right mouse click on the background and select Shade Smooth. Click on the Materials icon. Then click on the New Material button. Change the base color to a color of your preference. Lower the roughness so some background reflections of the HDRI are visible. A material will now be added to the sphere. Click on the sphere to select it. Then click on the New Material button. Adjust the base color to a color of your choice. We will adjust the material settings to give the sphere a jelly look. Scroll down to the transmission setting and increase it to 1. Increase the clear coat setting to 0.6. Two additional spheres and cubes will now be added. Within the outliner panel, click on the monitor to show the cube. Hold the Shift key and click on the cube. The cube and the sphere should be selected. Hold the Shift key and press D to duplicate the objects. Press the X key to lock to the X-axis and drag the new objects to the right. We will copy the material into a new material to keep the same settings, then select a different color. Click on the sphere to select it. Make sure the material is selected. Then click on the Materials Specials drop-down menu and select Copy Material. Click on the Add button to add a new material slot. Then click on the New Material button. Click on the Materials Specials drop-down menu and select Paste Material. Click on the base color and select a new color. Click on the original material to select it. Then click on the minus button to remove it. The new material is then applied to the object. The same process is repeated to create a sphere and cube on the other side. So that each sphere is not the same in the animation. The cubes on each side are moved to different positions on the Z-axis. Click on a cube to select it. Then G for grab and Z to lock to the Z-axis. Move it to a slightly different height. Then repeat the process for the cube on the other side. Now is a good time to save the file. Click on the File menu, then Save As. Then navigate to a preferred location to save the file. Or click Save if you have previously saved the file. We will now set up the animation for rendering. First, we need to cache the animation with the 3 spheres. Click on the Viewport Shading mode. This will run the animation quicker than the other modes. Press the space bar to run the animation. It will run slow at first and speed up as the animation is cached. Let the animation run until it runs more smoothly. Press the space bar to pause the animation. I will pause the video while the animation is cached. Now the animation is cached, we will bake the animation. Baking the animation saves the animation to a file. For the bake to be saved, the Blender file needs to be saved as we did earlier. Hold the Shift key and click on each of the spheres to select them. Click on the physics icon and open the cache menu. Scroll down and click on the Current Cache to Bake button. For the purpose of this tutorial, I have used a length of 250 frames. The simulation start and end needs to be adjusted for other animation lengths. Baking will lock the soft body settings for the animation. If any changes are needed, the bake will need to be deleted. Next, we will set up an HDRI background. I will use a Blender internal HDRI. A link is below to a detailed tutorial for adding and repositioning HDRIs. Click on the World menu, then the color options to the right of the color field. Select Environment Texture, then click on the Open File option. The internal HDRIs are stored within the Blender Program folder. This is the location on a Windows PC. The location may vary on other operating systems. Once an HDRI has been selected, click on the Render Preview button to preview the scene. I will return to the viewport shading mode while the setup is being completed. The 3 cubes can now be hidden in the viewport and the render. Within the outliner panel, click on the monitor and camera icons for the cubes. When the animation is played, it now appears as though the soft body objects are moving to the music. We will now look at the render settings. A link is below for a detailed tutorial on rendering animations. Click on the Render Properties icon. I will use the default resolution and frames per second. Scroll down to the output location and select a preferred location for the animation to be saved. From the File Format drop-down menu, select FFmpeg. Select the MPEG 4 container. I will use perceptually lossless for the output quality. Scroll down to Audio menu and select an audio format. I will use AAC. Before rendering, it's a good idea to save your work. To render the animation, click on the Render menu. Then Render Animation. I will pause the video until the render is complete. Click the like button if you found this tutorial useful, and subscribe to this channel for more tutorials and CG related videos.